So distance and direction, the answer is B. Thank you. Then Abdurrahim Adil. Abdurrahim Adil. Abdurrahim Adil. Adham.
Yes.
Adham. Okay. Read it.
You travel 30 miles west to your home and then turn around and start going back home. After traveling 10 miles east, what is your displacement from your home?
You can draw it if you are not able to imagine it or in your mind, so you can use a pen and draw it. 30 miles west of your home, then turn around and start going back home after traveling 10 miles east on your way back to home. What is your displacement? Remember, the displacement is calculated from your starting point till your end point, regardless what direction right now that you're moving right now.
I think, Mr. It's D.
20 kilometers west, yes. The answer is B, and let me do it for those who can't imagine it or can't figure it out. So let me do it for them. You started from your home, and let me assume that is your home. And you traveled west, starting from your home 30 miles. That's what you travel. You start to travel like this, 30 miles. Then you start to go back home from here 10 miles. So you back 10 miles. What is your displacement? Displacement is calculated from the starting point, which is this one, till the end point, which is this one. And it has direction, so it can be calculated like this. From your starting point till the end point, which is that. So 30 miles minus 10, it's 20 miles, this is the distance, and it's the displacement from your starting till the end, from your starting point till the end point, which would be to the west. 20 miles to the west. The answer is B. So the answer is B. Thank you, Adham. Ahmed Abu Gannas.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, this one is B. And on this end, let me take another lesson to review it quickly. So the first lesson talked about distance and displacement. This one's talking about speed and velocity. And as I said, speed is related to distance over time, and velocity related to displacement over time. Average speed is calculated by total distance divided by total time, and this is the symbol of average speed, and distance symbolized by D, and total time symbolized by T. I have some questions here. We'll take similar to this. And for example, here is example. You have moved 35 kilometers in 0.4 hours, then 53 kilometers in 0.6. So total distance over total time, you can calculate it. Total distance equal 35 plus 53 equal 88. And the time is 0.4 plus 0.6 hours, so it's 1 hour. So to calculate the average speed, you have to divide total distance that you have covered over total distance, which is 1 hour, so it's 88 kilometers per hour. This is the answer here. And this example is the same. You have to calculate total distance over total time, and this is about it. Graphing, we talk about graphing and said you have to find, if you have distance, time here, if you want to find the slope will equal distance over time, which means by calculating the slope, you are calculating the speed. So rise, which is 250 divided by 10, which is 10, you will have the slope which is equal to the average or equal to the speed, which is distance over time. And here, by increasing the tiltation or increasing the inclines of the line, tiltation of the line, so once it gets closer to y-axis in this direction, it will have more slope. For example, this one is closer to y-axis than this one. So here we have a speed of 25 meters per second, while here we have 12.5 meters per second because it has less tiltation. It's closer to x, while this one is closer to y-axis. And once you get closer to y-axis, you will have more slope. And here we have varying speed. While you have a horizontal line here, this means that what? That means that your speed equal to 0, because your distance and time shows the slope equal 0, and they said in distance time, distance here, time, we have the slope will equal to the speed. So let me ask some question about this. Let me take someone. Ali Yusuf Al-Hilal. Ali Yusuf.
Yes,
Ali
Mr. Riyad.
Ali, can you tell me what is the speed from this graph? You have distance time here, distance time. This is distance in meter and time in second. Can you tell me what is the speed? How to calculate speed from this graph? Ali. Ali.
Yes, Mr.
Don't mute your mic. While you're answering, don't mute your mic. Just tell me the answer to communicate with me. So what is the answer here for this one? If you have distance time, what is the answer for this question? I want the speed. How can you calculate speed from the graph? If you have in the graph distance on x-axis and time here, how can you calculate the speed? You have an idea how to calculate it?
No.
Right. Don't mute your mic and stay with me. Faisal. 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 Hassan Ramadan. Hassan Ramadan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how to calculate speed from this graph?
We will 250 divide 10 equal 25 meters per second.
So you can say that it's equal to what? What it called, if you divide, this is called rise over run. What we call it? Slope. We call it what? Slope of the graph. So slope of the graph equal rise, which is this one, divided by this one, which is called run, rise over run. And the slope equal what? 250 divided by 10. So the answer will be 25. The slope is 25. And here we're dividing what? We divide rise over run. Let me see or explain to you what is rise and what is run. Rise is that distance, which is equal to a part here, from here until here. And this part is, we call it distance, because delta D, or distance. And we divide it by the run, which is this one. And this one equal to what? Delta T. So when we divide rise over run, we are dividing a distance over time. That's why the slope here, the slope here equal what? Equal to speed. So if you calculate slope, which is equal rise over run, or delta y over delta x, we are calculating a distance over time, because this y-axis represents what? Represents distance, while this one represents time. So if I find 25 over 10 seconds, actually I'm dividing a distance over time. That's why slope equal what? Equal speed. So the speed equal what? 25 meter per what? Meter per second. Okay. Right. Thank you, Hassan. I will bring another one. Ali الهلال will answer with me. Ali Yusuf الهلال will answer this one too. Can you tell me what is the speed for this graph? Again, we have a similar one. We have speed here, distance, and we have time. Can you tell me what is the speed from the graph here? Ali. Ali.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the speed from this graph? علي سامعني علي؟
Mr. You mean me?
No, علي الهلال. علي يوسف. علي يوسف. علي Marky was absent. علي. You're not participating. علي. Okay, Ibrahim Adil.
Yes.
Ibrahim, can you tell us the speed
Yes.
from this graph?
125 divided 10. Distance divided time.
Yes, bravo عليك. Which is equal?
Equal to 12.5 meter
Yes.
per second.
برافو عليك. Meter per second. Where did they get the meter from here? It's meter here. And it's second here. You write the units as here and here. If this were kilometer and this hour, it will be kilometer per hour. But because we have here meter and we have here second, the answer will be meter per second. Okay. Ibrahim Anwar. Ibrahim Anwar.
Yes.
Okay, Ibrahim, let me give you another question then. Can you tell me what is the speed over the time interval from 8 to 12 seconds?
8, 12, 0.
برافو عليك. Because we have what?
We have
Horizontal line. It's called horizontal
straight line. Yes, horizontal line.
Yes. Can you tell me the speed over the time interval 12 to 20?
12 to 20. 4 seconds.
No, I
Or
want
8
speed.
seconds.
I want speed. If you want to find speed, Ibrahim, you divide rise over run. صح ولا لا?
Yes.
So what is the speed? Because we have distance here and we have time here. So the distance over time, we'll have what? We'll have this one. So what the distance?
37.
37, برافو عليك. 0.5 meter per second. برافو إبراهيم. Let me ask another one. إبراهيم الربيعة. الربيعة إبراهيم. يا إبراهيم. معاذ. معاذ.
Yes.
Muaz, can you tell me what is the speed from 0 to 4 seconds?
20. No, 25 meters per second.
Yes. If I tell you from 0 to 4, it's the same for the whole period here, from this one, from 0 to 8, it's the same. So the distance, the speed for all of these parts is what is the same for the whole period or the whole time interval from 0 to 8. So if I want to find it, I will find the slope, which is 100 divided by 4. It will equal 25 meters per second. Thank you. Amal. مؤمل. محمد العبد القادر. محمد العبد القادر. محمد العبد القادر. ها؟ I can't hear you, Muhammad. Fix your mic or your internet. محمد أيمن. I still hear just not clear sound, just voices.
Can you hear me, Mr. Muhammad Al Abdul Qadir?
Yes, I hear you, Muhammad Al Abdul Qadir. I hear you right now. Can you read this question and answer it, Muhammad?
A woman jogs 10 kilometers in 1 hour, stops at a restaurant for 1 hour, and then walks 10 kilometers in 2 hours. What is her average speed for the outing?
Yes. Total distance, average speed equal total distance over total time.
It will be C, 5 kilometers per hour.
Bravo. So we have here 10 and 10, 20 and 1 hour and 1 hour stop and 2 hours and for the last one. So we have 4 hours, 20 over 4 equal 5. The answer is C. Thank you, Muhammad. محمد أيمن الملحم. محمد أيمن الملحم. محمد أيمن. محمد رمضان.
Yes, Mr.
Muhammad, can you tell me, Muhammad, how to calculate what is the average speed for, of the boat for someone standing here on the shore? Let me take it for you.
Calculate the average speed.
I want not average speed, relative speed. If someone is standing here on the shore and he is looking at this boat, what would be the relative speed of this boat relative to this man observer here on the shore? What would be the relative speed of that?
I forgot, Mr.
Here the water stream is moving by 5 Muhammad kilometer per hour, and the boat is moving by 12 kilometer per hour relative to water itself. So what we have to do? What is the relative speed of the boat relative to this one?
Okay. Minus 12 minus 5.
No, not minus, Muhammad, because the water is moving by 5. So this man is seeing water moving by 5 kilometers per hour, and the boat is moving in the same direction but by 12. So this man or this boat is moving by 12 relative to water, and added to them, the water itself is moving. Do you understand? So both of them are moving. Imagine if the boat is not moving at all, what would be the speed of the boat?
7 kilometers.
No, if it's not moving.
Oh, it's not moving. 0.
No, 0 for water. But the water itself is carried and moved by what? By 5. يعني هو بيتحرك بالنسبة للمية. So if it's not moving relative to water, that means his speed is relative speed to water is 0. But for someone on the shore, he will see it moving by the same speed of the what? Of the stream, which is 5 kilometers per hour. زي ما يكون في قارب كده موجود في نهر والنهر بيمشي بيه، القارب ما بيتحركش، النهر هو اللي شايله. تمام؟ وبيتحرك بيه، يبقى هيشوفه كام؟ ب5. 5. It will see it moving by 5. Added to this 5, the boat itself is surfing over water by 12 kilometers per hour. So what is the relative speed right now?
So, Mr. should you add them, right?
Yes, you add them because they are
17.
moving 17 kilometers per hour. طيب سؤال تاني بس مش ليك انت بقى، واحد تاني.
Mister, I have a question.
Yes.
Mister, the point force acting on an object in a fluid depends on the object's volume or weight?
Volume. Depends on the object volume.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
طيب. محمد السعد. محمد السعد. محمد السعد. أبس. مرتضى. مرتضى.
Yes, Mr.
Okay, Murtaza. Can you tell me what is the average speed for this We have a stream here moving downward, but the boat this time is crossing the river. Okay, by
The
12.
average speed, Mr.
The relative speed for someone standing here on the boat, on the shore. Observer. What would be the relative speed of this boat relative to this man? How to calculate it?
Mr. Shouldn't we, Mr. Make 12 plus 5 divided by 2?
No. It's a vector addition. We have two vectors here, 112 and 15, and the angle between them is 90 degrees. How can we find the...
Sir, I forgot the rule.
It's called the Pythagorean theorem. Do you know what is Pythagorean theorem? Pythagorean
Yeah, Mr.
theorem.
I forgot the rule.
Yes, it's...
I
So
know
it's here.
Pythagorean theorem.
Yes, so it is like this. Square root of this squared plus this squared. So 12 squared plus 5 squared. So you will find the answer by this way. Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem. Type. So the answer you will find it because or from a concept called vector addition. You have to add them as vectors and you'll find the answer like this. طيب. The answer to the first question. Let's see the next one. Navjan. Navjan. نفجان ما حضرش معانا من زمان. أسامة.
Here, Mr.
Read this question.
These are plotted on the x-axis of the line graph and distance on the y-axis. Why does the slope of her graph represent?
Yes, distance and time.
Speed.
Yes, bravo عليك, speed. It represents speed because you have distance and you have time. We just explained that. Thank you, Osama. سعد اليامي.
Yes, Mr.
Read this question, Saad.
Lisa plotted time in seconds on the x-axis of a line graph at distance in centimeters on the y-axis. Her plot showed a straight line from zero axis to zero y-axis to 10 x-axis to 20 y-axis. What is the speed?
What is the speed? He's asking about the speed. I put it here for you so we can work with it. Lisa plotted time in seconds in x-axis, on the x-axis. So we have time on x and distance on y. So we have time and distance, similar one to this one of velocity or speed. The y-axis plotted has two lines. She had two lines, 0 and 0, and 10 and 20. So remember that this is an arrangement like xy. So we have this one is x. I will call this point as x1, and this is y1. And this would be x2, and this is y2. And to find the speed, what we should do, Saad?
We will divide.
Speed equal what? Slope, in this case, because we have a graph.
Yes, slope.
Yes, slope. Sorry. Slope equal, this is the rule of slope, delta y, which is a y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have here x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. What should we do? We should replace, only substitute.
Yeah.
So what is y2? Let's use it here. What's y2?
Y2 is 20.
Around 20. And what's y1?
0.
0. So 20 minus 0. And what's x2?
10.
10 minus x1, which is what?
0.
0. So what would be the answer?
It will be 2.
It will be 2 meter per second.
2 meters per second.
So the answer is 2 meter per what? Per second. The answer is B. سعد خالد الحسيني. سعد خالد الحسيني. علي كمال المرزوق. علي كمال.
Yes.
Ali, can you tell me the answer of this question?
Two velocities of an object are combined by using an addition of the two speeds.
No. Two velocities. Velocities is not speeds.
Oh, vector addition.
Vector addition. Vector addition. Thank you. Let me take another one. طيب الناس الغايبين سعد الخالد الحسيني، نفجان، كل الغايبين، محمد السعد، محمد أيمن، مؤمل، إبراهيم، ربيعة، فيصل، عبد الرحيم، عبد الله عبد الباقي، عبد الهادي.
أستاذ عبد الباقي موجود.
عبد الباقي موجود؟
اي نعم.
Okay. So answer this question.
A kayak is moving across a stream that is flowing downstream at a velocity of 4 km per hour. The kayak's velocity is 3 km per hour. What's the magnitude of the kayak velocity relative to the river bank?
Magnitude. What is the magnitude? Let me show it for you. We just solved someone similar to it here. The kayak is moving by 3. So the kayak is not moving by 12, but it's moving by 3 km per hour.
Yes.
And this one is the stream is 4 km per hour. It's similar to this one because the kayak is moving across and the stream is moving downward. So this 3 and this what 4. What would be the answer?
It will be root 3 by 2 plus 4 by 2.
Yes, it's a famous triangle and it's 5. Directly it's a 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, 5, 5 km per what? Per hour. That's the answer. Directly you can find it. So the answer is 5 km per hour. And leave this one. So we have come to the end of the session today, inshallah. This was a quick revision of that. So do anybody have any question, guys, before we leave? Any questions? Any question, grade 9?
Have a nice day.